Hello, Pips, and everyone else who's watching. We believe we get watched by a lot of people. It's another Paul McNally VP show. It's Friday night, so Pips have got a game tomorrow. So here we are talking to Paul. Good evening, Paul.
Evening, Paul.
Evening, Paul. Bad week in lots of different ways, but the bad week started last Saturday at Kidsgrove. You ranted and raved to me afterwards. There was no media there on the day, or if there was, you were out getting drunk, which was lucky.
Which we wish we could have all done.
Yeah, just went out and drowned our sorrows. But go on, mate. We said the week before what a tough place it is for us to go, particularly. I don't know whether it's tough for everyone else, but we find it a tough place to go, and so it proved.
Yeah, look, the game wasn't a great game, was it? Do you know what I mean? I think for 40 minutes, I think they scored on the 40th minute, if I remember rightly. Up to that 40th minute, I thought we weren't in any danger, only from set pieces, from the aerial threat. We were going up the hill. We looked like we could have had an opportunity or two ourselves to score. We never capitalised. Yeah. But we didn't look right as a team. We weren't, like I say, we weren't in danger. But as a group, they looked a bit off the pace anyway, do you know what I mean? But we didn't look in any danger. We've made an error. They've scored from it. That's galvanised them. We've changed a little bit of shape because we've had to take Adam off because he was injured from that. And I don't know, from that point onwards, whether that's lifted them and deflated us, I don't know. But we got in at half-time, we had a good chat. After half-time, I thought we were all over them for a good spell of the game, but actually not doing anything with it, if that makes sense. We had a lot of the ball, we got in good areas of the pitch, and we look like we could probably still be playing now and not score, do you know what I mean? We didn't create nothing once we get in there, we were hoofing over the bar, we were just indecisive, and they looked very dangerous then on the counter, and because we were so open, and then once we go down to 10 men, it was game over, wasn't it? You're chasing the game still with 10, and you're open, you can snatch a draw at least, which on the face of it would have been a great result to draw. I'd have tough that, but they've then scored in the 90th minute, do you know what I mean? A bad day at the office, I've called it, do you know what I mean? And I went over to the fans and I said, I wish we could have played as well as they supported us on that day, because they were fantastic, and they were in the droves, do you know what I mean? There was herds of them singing and cheering us on, and I just, look, we just never had it on in that day, and we can only apologise to them and go again.
Yeah, and I don't think it was a performance that deserves an apology to anyone, but it was just I sort of make you right in the sense of it looked like we could have played all day. We were not going to score. I don't think we threatened the goalie. The goalie didn't have a save to make.
Well, we had about 5 attackers on the pitch. Even at one stage, it still didn't look like we were going to score, did we? So that was the thing. But I think it was more panic because we've got scored past. We were trying to
hard.
Yeah.
Do you attribute anything, Paul, to the absolute racket that they're like 10 or 15 supporters make? Because you can't. I'm stood at the other side of the ground. You can't hear yourself think. It's non-stop drums, bells, whizzes, lights, anything.
Is it a cowbell? It sounds like I was Lime Street. Ding, 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 ding. And
just don't stop.
I noticed it in the first half, early doors. I could hear it and ding, 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 because it was down that end by us. The second half, we're getting beat, you know what I mean? My head's fuming anyway, you know. Any little things at my base, that, you know what I mean? But no, I don't think that contributed to it. I don't know.
You don't think that affects the players?
I hope not, do you know what I mean? Because it wasn't a hostile atmosphere, do you know what I mean? We've been in a lot more intimidating atmospheres than that. I thought the fans were quite good with us, do you know what I mean? They were both sides, do you know what I mean? It was peaceful, it was...
The lead chairman was present, so everyone lead chairman was present, so everyone was on the best behaviour, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I mean, but I thought it was played in good spirit. They were complimentary of us still, even after it and before it, do you know what I mean? So, no, I don't think that contributed to it. I'd be very shocked if any of the lads said, well, that noise was doing me head in, then I'd say, you're never kicking a ball for us again. And to be fair, I did say that in the changing rooms in disgust at the end, but sometimes I have to bite my lip and go back on what I said.
That's one thing I've learned, Paul, and I'll try and I learned it earlier in the season. I try and avoid you after the game.
Yeah.
But I had no choice on Saturday. We had to walk on the pitch. Jesus.
I know.
And then obviously by
fell off after.
you calm down, you have a little drink, and then everything's all right.
Yeah, that's the emotions, obviously. I can take getting beat, and I can take getting beat when you play well. No one wants to get beat, you know what I mean? But there's times when you get beat and you go, do you know what, we put up a performance there, I thought we were good. And do you know what, people might say we actually were okay in spells, but I disagree. I just thought that I want more from my team, do you know what I mean? And we let ourselves down. The lads know that. They were disappointed, more disappointed than anyone, do you know what I mean? So I'm hoping to get back on the bike tomorrow and to get back to it, do you know what I mean? And we haven't got an easy game, have we?
Well,
to get back on that bike.
No, so moving on to obviously Clitheroe at home and their array of talents there. But actually, just before we finished talking about Kidsgrove, is injuries, and suspensions. Grogan got sent off, he's missing. Jack got a bad foot injury and had to come off at half time. The size of his foot was quite shocking to see.
He's still, I've just spoke to him literally half an hour ago on the tech, and he's still barely able to walk. He's coming to the game tomorrow, but he's barely able to walk. So a week later, it shows how bad it was.
Well, to be honest, it could have been a lot worse. We were thinking it was a broken foot that on the day.
Yeah. To be fair to the lad, he wanted to play on at half time, and as soon as he said, because I didn't know that he was injured, and he just said, I want to carry on, and the lads were all looking at me saying he can't, and he took his boot off, and then his foot just went bump. So, that then it was like Professor Clumps, do you know what I mean? Bump right out, saying, look, once that happens, and the kid's brave, he wanted to stay on and do his best for the team. And I genuinely do believe if he stays on the pitch that we would have created a bit of magic, do you know what I mean? But
wouldn't have seen him again this season.
I'd rather take the hit for the game or two than take it for the season, do you know what I mean? Yeah. If he stays on and plays, he does more damage, doesn't he?
Yeah. Which then brings us on to tomorrow. So we've struggled obviously with the loss of at least Grogan and Jack for tomorrow. There might be one or two other niggles knocking around as well, which we won't go into. But we brought a few lads in this week.
Yeah,
we might have one or two, but at least definitely one more tonight before tomorrow as well, which we won't talk about. But you brought in the lad from Skelmersdale for tomorrow.
Baba can play midfield and he can play centre half. So it's not ideal because I always want my strongest squad. Do you know what I mean? I want Grogan available, Jack available. It's not ideal, but Baba will probably come straight in. He can go centre half or he can play centre mid. So Kenny's had a little bit of sickness as well this week. The virus is going around the squad. So to say we needed him over the line, didn't we? And he can play in a few positions, so that helps us. Yeah. We signed another lad, I don't know whether you're going to touch on it, Nick Ryan. Signed Nick Ryan last night. Nick Ryan's, I know Nick from working with him at Liverpool. He's very experienced. He's played for Witton Albion, he's played for Bearscow when they were in the Northern Prem. And he went to Stalybridge, if I remember rightly, but he's had a couple of bad injuries, so it's just getting over that. He's been playing this season. He played for Lowbreck early part of the season and then left it, do you know what I mean, because of his coaching and that. So he's a good lad, he's a leader, and we know what to expect from him, do you know what I mean? He's played at this level before, so it's nothing new to him. It's just bringing experience in and hoping that he can fit in well enough, do you know what I mean? It's always a gamble making signings, do you know what I mean? I'm saying Baba could come in and do X, Y and Z, but he hasn't played since September, since City-Liverpool games was Kem.
Yeah.
But he has been training like this week, so hopefully he'll be up to speed. But every signing's a gamble, isn't it?
Well, it is, isn't it?
It is. Every signing's a gamble.
Yeah. Excuse me, because I've just lost a bit of battery. Keep talking, Paul. I'm going to just...
Go on.
You keep talking and I'll get me charged.
So, like I say, them two coming in will help us beef up a little bit. Obviously, losing Grogan and that it's a massive loss, do you know what I mean? And Jack, so we're hoping that them two can come in, not like for like replacements, but maybe help us in a different way. And hopefully we get this other signing over the line tonight. And it'd be one that lads will be happy with, I believe, and around the club anyway. Do you know what I mean? And he's a good player, and he could add something to us, even just being around the squad.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. I think if we can get that over the time, I mean, in any, Nick is a good experienced player, good signer, good cover for Grogan.
Yeah.
And Baba, you've been, really you were intending to sign Baba for a while, weren't you? It's just about the timing of that. We've also signed 2 young lads on this week.
Yeah.
Adam Lyons, up from our under-18s, who's like a natural-born goal scorer. We're all really excited about Adam.
Yeah.
Not that he's going to be thrown in and starting games or whatever.
He has actually featured for us in the Senior Cup, didn't he? He was on the bench, and we were excited by him in the warm-up that day. And it was unfortunate he never really played because it was uncalled minutes, and we never got him on the pitch. But look, there's still a little bit to come from that lad. He's an exciting prospect, and we've got him signed. You know what I mean? Yeah,
no, absolutely. And then another lad who is a name that lads from adult football won't recognise, but anyone who's been in junior football or youth football might recognise, which is Chris Happy Fankham.
Yeah.
Which people will go, what?
And you've been tipping me off about him for a long time, haven't you?
Yeah, what a player this lad is. Really sensational centre forward. Again, not someone that we're bringing in to go straight in the team or anything like that. Potential, and who could definitely feature on the bench and give us an impact.
And I've got to thank Todd for that as well, because Todd Blaney, I was speaking to him today and he recommended him again, and obviously we were keeping our eye on him anyway, and he helped us get that over the line today, so I've got to thank him for that, and AFC Knowsley as well for their helping the part of it, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I haven't actually spoke to them yet, but I'm going to. But they haven't got a game tomorrow, so they were when the lad came up the hub, they're not expecting to see him tomorrow, so that's okay. So we'll get it on that. So.
Look, even if he features at some point for us, he's got lightning pace. He's a prospect for the future. Do you know what I mean? He knows where the goal is. So yeah, and he's not a small kid. He's a tall kid. He's got a profile, hasn't he? Do you know what I mean? He fits what we want. Going forward, so yeah.
I tell you what, those 2 kids are absolutely mustard at youth football. So, there's obviously a transition for them in terms of experience and physicality into the adult game, and obviously we're at a high level of football. But over the course, hopefully, of the next couple of seasons, those lads can really grow into some.
We've also got our own as well, Malachi. Malachi, touching on him, he won't be involved with us tomorrow in our squad because we've dual-registered him with Bearsco to get game time, and he'll be playing for the full 90 minutes against Berry. So if it is development, that's what he needs at this moment. And as much as we'd want him to play for us tomorrow, he probably wouldn't feature for the 90 minutes. So it's better for his development that he goes and plays for Bearsco. We keep our eye on him. We'll get the footage all the time, so we'll see how he's doing. And hopefully, maybe towards the end of the season, possibly he might feature if he's developing right. Do you know what I mean? So with one eye on next season, do you know what I mean? So that's the view, getting them out to play.
Yeah. And still along those lines then, tomorrow, I'm presuming Sonko will feature at least from the bench.
He will at some point,
he's been on the bench for us the last sort of 4 or 5 games, hasn't he, Ishmael?
Yeah.
And he's another very exciting young kid.
Yeah, he's been very patient. He hasn't come on. He's come on once, I think, in about 5 or 6 games, but he's always there at training. He's a good lad. He's one of the lads. He's a character, isn't he? I think the fans like him. When we beat Runcorn minutes, he was getting a little cheer and that, so they do like him. But look, he's got immense potential. He's quite lively. He's good on the ball. He's quite energetic with his approach, and he's actually, if you could bundle his energy around the team and give it to everyone, we'd be playing like the Liverpool of old, not the Liverpool of now. We'd be playing like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's an important point, Paul. The youth that energy of youth, it can add something even just on its own, can it? Not obviously
Yeah.
at this level. You need experience, you need physicality, you need the ability, you need the full package. And these lads won't have the full package just yet. But every single one of them over a period of time, gaining a bit of experience, a bit of physicality, there's no reason why these can't be the stars of the future.
That's exactly what it is, and it's a pathway, isn't it? If we can develop these players and bring them on, then other kids will see that there's an opportunity. Do you know what I mean? It's you can't just be, we need to sign X, Y, and Z who are older. Do you know what I mean? You're always good to have experience. You always need experience, but you also need to have the youthful elements
The
as
energy
well.
of youth,
Yeah.
Right. Good balance.
As I say, you've got to have that balance. Do you know what I mean? And the kids sometimes have no fear. Do you know what I mean? So to say if they're good enough, they're old enough as far as I'm concerned. Do you know what I mean? And that's it.
And we might find out over the weekend. So
we might. Yeah.
So we've got those 4 lads waiting in the wings. We've signed Nick and Baba, who are, basically ready to go and play for us.
Yeah.
And there might be one more, as you say, seasoned, experienced player who might come in tonight or tomorrow for tomorrow's game. So on to Clitheroe, the opponents. I know you will have done your thing. We're all just looking at them going, fucking hell, here we go again. We get them at their own time. They're on a massive run. Sefton and God know all his mates, they're all banging them in. We've got absolutely no chance tomorrow. I don't even know why we're turning them up. Because these are just going to blather us, aren't they?
Well, yeah. I'm
not supposed to say no.
I'm not. Look, I'm going along with that. We'll go as the underdogs sort of thing. Look, we've got nothing to lose against them. They're the form team in the league at the minute. I do believe when we played them up at their place, we should have got a draw at least. I thought we were the better team in the second half. And it was an injustice that we come away with a defeat. But sometimes you don't get what you deserve. I'm hoping we can amend that tomorrow and put that right. But it's not going to be an easy task. Like I say, they're the form team in the league. So that tells you a lot if they're above Macclesfield, Workington and Leeds, doesn't it, in the form guard. Yeah. But records are there to be broken, aren't they? And that's what we're hoping to do. We're our own. We don't fear anyone. And I mean that in a respectful way. We don't fear anyone. And what have we got to lose? Do you know what I mean? We've lost last week, but we won our 3 games previously. So let's go here. Let's give them a go and let's see what. It's 11 men against 11 men on the day. Who knows? They might have a bad day like we had a bad day last week. And if we have a good day, we're capable of beating anyone. So I'm happy to take them on tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? And I've got one eye on, obviously, the 10 games that we've got left, which is as tough as anything. But I always feel we play better against the better teams anyway. We seem to thrive on that. Yeah.
I think I'm half joking before when I'm saying, well, I am actually joking when I'm saying we've got no chance tomorrow, because you showed in that first game away against them under your thing that we can actually beat them. And last season, although we got absolutely humiliated away in a record club defeat against them, we did knock them out the FA Cup. We beat them 1-0 at Ellesmere Port. We had them in the league on the Tuesday, so we beat them on the Saturday, beat them 1-0. Lost about 3 players through injury, it's similar. And then they come on the Tuesday, and the big lads ran amok and they beat us 4-0. And then, as I say, later on in the season, they did humiliate us. But our supporters thought it was the greatest day since sliced bread, because Clitheroe is such a great little town. The bar and the ground was fantastic and blah, blah, blah. But for the football side of things, we've got our pride at stake, and this is a team, Clitheroe, in my opinion anyway, who can come out, and if you are not ready to fight 100% against these, they will put 3 or 4 goals past you in 2 minutes flat. Game over. It's gone. And that's what we've got to be.
Bootle found that out a couple of weeks ago, didn't he? And we have.
And we will not stand for it. Our lads have got to stand up here and have a pair of bollocks, I'm sorry to the kids who are listening, and stand up for themselves and for the team and for the club, and ensure that we're in this game and battling until the end.
I agree 100%, and our lads know that, and there's their own pride at stake, and no one wants to be in a game where you're getting humiliated, and there's that pride on the line, do you know what I mean? And I say we're underdogs. We're not underdogs, really, are we? Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, we're both in the I know you want that, but we're both in the same league, aren't we? Do you know what I mean? They're just top of the form guys. We're 10th in the form guys. Really,
yeah, but we went to Kidsgrove. We were 5th in the form guide, and Kidsgrove were bottom of the form guide.
Exactly that. So it can quickly change. Anyone can beat anyone in this league, and I just hope we're on the front foot. I want us to be on the front foot. I don't want us to sit and wait for things to happen. I want us to make things happen. I want us to be on the front foot. I want us to take the game to them and be exciting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And get the win. Yeah. Get the first goal. You pointed out the 66%, and going back to last week, that first goal doesn't go in. I truly believe we get something from the game. So it is that.
Goals change games, and the first goal in this league typically changes games, and that's what happened last Saturday. We started panicking.
They have got a lot of goals in the locker, obviously, as we've seen. I've been looking through the last few results, and they've got like 3s, 2s, and 4s. Do you know what I mean, in the locker? But that's up to our rear guard to stop them in our team. Do you know what I mean? And I've played them. This will be the 3rd time I've played them this season. Once at Skem, it was a 1-0 defeat, which it could have went either way. We could have got a draw or even won. And 3-2 the last time, and we really should have got something from it. But we were 2-0 down after 10, 15 minutes because of our own errors, do you know what I mean? So we know if we make errors, they'll punish us. But we know that we can cause them trouble as well. And that's what we're hoping to do. So I'm anticipating a good game, and a 1-0 win for us. I'll take that.
That'd be lovely.
I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take 1-0. I like a boring 1-0 win.
Yeah, no, I like a boring 2-0 more. In fact, the boring 3-0 great. Not that we're going to do it tomorrow. I'm just saying 3-0 great. Right, that's brilliant. So you've looked at them. You always do your own work, so you know what's going to happen. From our point of view, as I say, we've got to start right and stay right and be right throughout this game, and then we're in with a great shot of getting something.
Yeah, and hopefully the fans will back us like they did last week, and we can give them a performance. Hopefully that we'll get a win. Yeah. All right, Paulus. Ciao, Paul. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.